We're gonna color. I've been awake now for a little bit. I've got my coffee. I've got a Neurographica to color in, and I am about to color it. I've got some. Whew, I got some acrylic paint. I've got a little cup of water. Most importantly, I've got my coffee, and I've got this Neurographica in front of me. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint my circles with some warm colors, and I'm going to be a little bit more arbitrary with the colors. Like, I've heard that with Neurographica, you're supposed to sort of stay inside the lines. And I guess I am because I'm going to stay inside the circle. But I'm just going to let the water run around this circle. Just let it run around the circle and see what happens. Alright, I am wetting my brush, and I'm going to fill this area. Now, this is um, Yupo paper, so it's made out of plastic. Look at how the um, black is running into the water. There's not a whole lot I can do about it at this point, but I will tell you that if you don't want your water to run, don't use a Sakura artist pen to do your lines. Look at that beautiful pool of water right there. And it's activating all that black. It's great. Alright, now I'm going to take a little bit of this yellow, and I'm just going to go around the outside of it and let it do its thing. And I will just lift this up and kind of let it run a little bit. I don't want to tilt it so much that it runs out of the bounds of the water, or that the water runs out of the bounds of where I painted it. But all right, I'm gonna take some more water and do this circle. All of a sudden, I sort of feel like I should have left the circles for last, like a grand finale. I'm just filling this with water so that my ink can run. Now, as I said before, this is Yupo paper, so it's plastic. So it just has a different set of characteristics. Um, the liquid just kind of sits on top there, and it's going to take it a little while to dry. It doesn't really soak into the paper at all. Um, Now I think that I will take a hint of a red and put in here. What red do I want? I found lately that I actually like the word the color naphthol. So I'm gonna use some naphthol red. Amsterdam naphthol red. Oh, that's not good. It ate the lid. I don't want much of this, so I think what I'm going to do is just dab it a little. Let it do its thing. Ooh, that's kind of fun. Look at how it pushes the other one around. Too much fun. Another thing that I plan on doing is some Zentangles in here. But I probably won't do those until tomorrow because of, um, of this drying and everything. So come back tomorrow and watch me put Zentangles in it. Watch how this red does. Boop, boop, boop. It didn't do it quite as nicely as it did it over there, but maybe it will as it goes. All right. Now I've got the circles yellow. I'm going to do this back here, I think, a green or different greens, just to give it a overall warm feeling and a kind of a natural, naturey kind of feeling. We got, I don't know. I mean, you find blue in nature too, but you know, green is your like master nature color. So we're gonna make this all naturey. The greens that I want to use are, you got to shake these up really good. This is emerald green, and it looks like it is really um, settled. So, hello everybody. I was so involved in what I was doing, I did not notice I had visitors. Just out here talking to myself and doing a Neurographica. What are y'all up to? Who is watching? Say hello, please. I'm doing a Neurographica. I actually did all of the pen work yesterday in a live show, and this morning I'm going to do the color, and tomorrow I'm going to add some more lines to it in sort of a Zendoodle fashion. And my plan is to do these yellow and red, and then the background green, and then tomorrow add, what do you call it? Zentangles. It is 5:18 in the morning here, and I'm drinking coffee. I hope y'all are having a good morning. Let's see, let's start over here. And I also want to do parts that are not touching the first part that I did, because if I put this next to it, it will it'll bleed into the water. They'll blend together, and I want to keep my circles and my line areas like this separate. Um, you'll notice that the water is activating the artist pen that I used yesterday. Apparently, Sakura ink, Pigma Sakura ink, is not waterproof. Who knew? One of the great things about Neurographica is it is sort of a slow process. And I believe it's that slow process that causes us to have to slow down and meditate. It's not like the rest of our lives right now where it's all rushed feeling. So notice this area right here is pretty dry. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but this area right here is pretty dry. So I'm going to go ahead and do this green right up, this water right up next to it, and then drip some green in it. Ooh. Then I'm going to, if I do this, it's going to run into made my red run. See that? I had that beautiful red, and then I messed it up. That's all right. Live and learn. Oh, it's still beautiful. It'll still work out. Um, and I'll have to remember to do it the other way again tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, but the next time I do one of these. All right, we're going to go from here all the way to over here. Just cover just a big old chunk of space all at once. So I've been going on walks with my 9-year-old because she is ADHD. And I think there's been some improvement, not just with her, but also with my weight, or my health. Maybe not my weight yet, but it's good for me to go on walks. I'm 50 years old, and if I don't use it, I'm going to lose it. So these little daily walks have been good for me too. But for her, get some of that jitter out, you know, probably not a whole lot of it, but it gets some of it out. And also makes her a little bit more tired at night, so she falls asleep better. Now, this was wet and this is wet, so I want to be really careful not to let them touch. Otherwise, my red will bleed right into my green, or my green into my red, and it'll be a brown. And I don't want it to be a brown. So the reason I'm telling you about my 9-year-old daughter, ADD, and um, going walking is because that walk will take place in about 10 or 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe. Yesterday I forgot about it. And she came out here before I was even done with the video. So, kind of on a tight schedule now. Well, I'm thinking I need, if I'm going to do it watery like this, I need to have some other greens to blend in with this green. So let's see what other greens we got that would look good. I'm thinking that this dark green will work. I'm just taking it and dragging it across the edge of this so it can blend downwards. I hope. There's not a lot of water up here anymore, so it's not going to blend. It's kind of, it actually dries much faster than you might expect on this Yupo paper, except where it's like pulled up really big, like here and here, maybe here. No real rules here, so I'm going to go at the bottom on the side because that's where all the water's at. There we go. All right, I need to get some water for my brush. All right, I'm washing out my brush. Um, Now I need to let some of this other stuff dry, and I hate to be one of those people who makes really annoying loud videos, but you might want to turn your volume down because I'm going to use, in just a moment, I'll warn you when I do, I'm going to use a mini dryer to dry this a little bit better. It's also going to swish the paint around, which I don't like. But seeing as how this is a live video and I need this to dry, we're going to see what happens. I'll turn it on the low setting. Alright, I'm going to turn it on now. This is the dryer, in case you're wondering what it looks like. So, I don't want it to push the liquid around. I just want it to graze over the top to dry it faster. So I'm not waving it around or anything like that. And I've got it like a whole hand distance away or more. This is pushing this one around a little bit, but this one, so it's kind of stirring it up, and by stirring it up, it's maybe mixing those colors together. We just have to go with what we got. Good morning. There used to be this saying that it's as much fun as watching paint dry. And I suspect that's what this is. This is as much fun as watching paint dry. Let's spread it out and see what happens. Oh, I didn't really want to spread because of water tension. Oh, nope, that one's going on the line. Oh, it's also starting to see how it wolfed the plastic a little bit because I had it in the same place for so long. Oh, another thing to learn about Yupo paper. It's plastic, so it's literally melting or changing the paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this off. See this? I didn't even notice it had, because I had the heat far enough away that it wasn't doing it fast, but I had it consistently in this little area right here. And so it started to melt that little part. And now the whole paper is slightly buckled. It was nice and flat a minute ago. But that's alright. Again, live and learn. I think what I'll do is I'll just deal with some of these places that don't have a pool of liquid on them like that and that. I really want to just kind of like be patient and let it dry, because that creates a really nice look. Another thing I can do that creates a totally different look is I can blot it with a paper towel, and doing that will give me a totally different look. It'll dry it out in that little area, make it kind of as transparent as this area is. But I want the dry on its own appearance, so I'm gonna let it dry on its own. All right. But this whole edge right here is dry, so I can do something here. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with this water, and I'm gonna fill this in. Now look, there's wet paint right there, so I can't touch that. I will just leave a little space, just a ever so slightly small space right there. and it'll look kind of like a white outline maybe. All right, let's look at that. So right here, I don't know if y'all can see that, but there's some two little areas that won't take the water, and that means that I'd probably rested my hand or something there that was kind of greasy. Again, just one of the beautiful things about Yupo paper. A similar thing happens with regular paper too. Um, but again, anytime you change up the method or the texture or the surface or the materials, the liquid, whatever, you get different effects. So play around with different effects and see what happens. I just got a big drip of water right there. This is going to be full of what Bob Ross calls happy accidents. Look at how, well, there it goes. So apparently the artist pen is not as waterproof as I thought it was, but it doesn't really go crazy. You know, like it's not completely turn my water gray. So it's pleasantly resistant. All right. Now for this one, I started with this dark green right here, but I'm gonna really darken it up for this one. I'm gonna put whole big old drops in there and see what happens. That was fun. Now, I could leave it to let it dry, but I'm pretty sure it's going to dry almost just like you see it. In other words, it's going to have these little empty spots right here, and I don't want that. So I'm going to drag this green along that edge. And along that edge. And as cool as that looks, I'm going to do it over here too. That's pretty. Now, let's go with a little bit more of this green. Ooh, I kind of like that. That's that's pretty. All right, where do we go next? Now, this green has got a lot of water in it, and it doesn't look like it's going to dry anytime soon. I like the way it looks right here where it's dried. Oh, and cool, the paper has flattened out again. Interesting. I thought for sure, since it's plastic, that it would not do like normal paper does. It's still a little bouncy right there. But it has actually flattened out. Cool. Let's go right here. And let's put a drip or two of this in there. And let's push it all the way to the edge. And then let's put another drop. And then we'll paint over here on the other side. I have honestly, I'm pretty sure my daughter's going to be out here in about 5 minutes if she's not already standing outside my door waiting on me. So I'm gonna end this video here in just a minute, and that's okay because I need this to dry. So we're gonna put a little bit of green in this one, and then we'll call it a day. It was fun doing a Neurographica with you. I hope that you enjoy it when you watch it. If you ever watch this video, I hope you enjoy it. Go for a walk with your daughter and drink your coffee. Examine all of the intricate little swirling that takes place inside there. Neurographica, well, this is really not, just because I painted it this way, that's not a Neurographica. This might not even be a Neurographica for all I know. There are people out there trained to do Neurographicas, and I'm not one of them. This is just something I copied off somebody on the internet, and I like doing it, and it's pretty. So you do it if you want to do it, because it's pretty. And I'm hoping my wife likes it. I'll give it to her as a gift. I might write. No, I'm not gonna write. I was gonna say I might write a poem across it, but no. I got plans for the Zentangles to go in there somewhere. Maybe not all over, but in just a few places. Come back tomorrow and watch and see what you think. All right. Love y'all. It's your turn. Go make some art.